A marine touch tank, a planetarium, and an observatory, all things you can find at the Science Center of Pinellas. The Science Center of Pinellas was the first science education facility of its type in the United States and educates more than 35,000 school children each year through field trip classes. The Science Center of Pinellas, that's ahead on Bayside. Lots of exciting stuff going on at the Science Center of Pinellas. That's right. Welcome to this week's edition of Bayside. I'm your host, Shelly Sanders, and here to tell us about all that exciting stuff is the Executive Director, Mr. Joe Cuenca. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, Shelley.
It's very nice to have you here and sort of educate us, if you will, on just what the Science Center of Pinellas educates children on. And give us a basic overview. I know I kind of touched on it briefly in my open, but you know, if someone has never even heard of it before, what would you tell them? What is the Science Center of Pinellas County?
Well, thanks again for having us on the show. It's great to be here and be able to talk about education. We're very passionate about education, and particularly STEM education. And STEM is the acronym for Science, Technology, Engineering, and Math. A lot of people don't understand that or don't know the acronym, but it's real important because the issues that not only our county but our nation faces really focuses on how well we perform and embrace science, math, and technology. The center has actually just celebrated its 51st anniversary.
Wow.
So we've been a community asset for a long time, and we're located about a half-mile west of Tyrone Mall on 22nd. And in the last 2 years, the center has really undergone a real transformation. We're calling it a rebirth. We used to be focused on life sciences for the lower division, and now we are a STEM, Science, Technology, Engineering, and Math facility covering the full gamut of K through 12. And also on top of that, we are doing some adult education as well. So we've reinvented ourselves not only to focus on real core issues that we can address as an adjunct to the school system. As you mentioned earlier, the students take their field trips to the Science Center. What they do is they perform their textbook learning in either life, physical, or earth science. And when they've completed that, they come out to the center to do their hands-on, or what we call experiential. So during the experiential, they do their experiments, they learn, they observe, they interpret, they explore, and they learn, they investigate, and they question one another. So this is really where the experimentation or the experience really augments and hammers home their textbook learning. And so what we try and do there is really make that experience engaging, stimulating, and really use the application of the sciences and make that really meaningful.
Okay, so let me understand this then. Do you work hand in hand with public school systems, or is it something that, say, a concerned parent may decide, hey, let me add this into and integrate this in with their schooling and their tutoring, so to speak, or can you do both?
We actually do both. We work very closely with the Pinellas County School System. Matter of fact, the assistant superintendent is on our board, and so we work very closely with them. We work very closely with the private schools and also with homeschoolers. So, and we are also expanding our programming and working with students in other counties. Matter of fact, in one of the programs that we'll talk about a little bit later, our cybersecurity program, we actually have students driving in from multiple counties. So we're very
cybersecurity program.
Cybersecurity certification program.
Gotcha. It's a mouthful.
Yes, we'll talk a little bit more about that later.
Okay. Well, it seems like a perfect opportunity then to allude to that and keep you on the edge of your seats, because we do have to take a short break. But when we come back, we'll continue our conversation about the Science Center of Pinellas. Welcome back to Bayside. I'm your host, Shelley Sanders. We've been talking all about the Science Center of Pinellas and the importance of it being here in the community with the STEM, did I get that right? Science, technology,
engineering and
math. almost got it there. We've been talking with Joseph Cuenco, and now we're joined by Shane Powell. And we were talking, like I said, all about STEM and its importance. Now, how does that relate to cyber defense and all the good stuff when it comes to that end of it? Does that fall under the T?
Yes, absolutely. Engineering and technology as well, and it's also science and math. But it's not only is important for us to really be a proponent of STEM education, part of what's really needed is to provide career skills exposure and career skills development to middle schoolers and high schoolers as early as possible. That way you can guide them to careers that they may not even have been aware of. So the career opportunities. And then our strategy is to provide these students with certifications as early as high school and really jumpstart their career, and also exposure and linkage to industries. And one of our flagship programs, matter of fact, it is what we believe to be the first in the United States, our cybersecurity certification and education program, where we are the first to certify high school students in cybersecurity with our partnership with Raytheon and St. Petersburg College. And we're very excited about the linkage to that program, because ultimately as we train these students, we're preparing them for careers in industry, internships at high-tech companies as Raytheon, and Raytheon has the opportunity to mentor these students, develop them, and also provide them early career training so that when they're ready to hire them as employees, they're ready to understand the
background
and philosophies and the way Raytheon operates.
Absolutely. And it makes sense because, as technology progresses and the older we get, it seems that the younger generations that come along, they really do have a better understanding of it. So it makes sense that you would begin this at such an early age. So without further ado, Shane, if you will, explain to us a little bit about what the ongoings and of this program and
I think you hit it on the head there, Shelley. The kids really do know what's going on with the various aspects of cyber, but they don't understand the fundamentals of why things are working. And within Raytheon, we have over 11,000 engineers across the country and across the world that are just absolutely passionate about STEM in general. Engineering is a great field. Cyber STEM, which was, what we're pushing here, the aspect of STEM that we're pushing here, is really focused on teaching these kids the fundamentals of IT and putting that in perspective of security so they understand how to protect themselves, how to protect their families, and from cyber attacks and cyber threats, and how to be good cyber citizens in their social networking and other aspects of using the internet. One of the things I was asked to talk about today was a couple of the recent attacks that have occurred since March. There's been a few significant attacks that have occurred, mainly notable because of the scale of the attacks. Two that I'll talk about are Epsilon and Sony. To begin with, Epsilon is a company that deals with loyalty programs. And because of that, they handle companies like Delta, Hilton, American Express, Kroger's, for those viewers that are from up north. And their databases got hit. As a result, lots of people's user IDs and passwords, and specifically email addresses, were stolen from Epsilon. This is important because the attackers in turn use that same information to reach out to you by posing as the companies whose loyalty programs they stole from, and send you emails in a type of attack called a phishing attack, where they have just enough information about the company, make it look realistic, and enough information about you to trick you into clicking a link and providing additional information such as credit cards, or if they don't have your username and password for a system, they'll try and trick you out of that. The reach of this attack is significant because of how many people are involved with those loyalty programs. So people should be paying attention to the email that they have coming in and not just clicking through. when they receive it.
So what perspective, what do you do with that information with the cybersecurity education program that you have?
Sure.
How are you utilizing that information to educate or to defend yourself against this kind of?
We try and make the kids and students, we have adult students in our intermediate class as well, aware of the various cyber threats that are out there that they would face, such as phishing attacks, social engineering attacks. We try and get them to understand how they can protect their computers and how they can keep their personally identifiable information relatively safe. And that's a difficult thing to do because once your information is out there and these companies own it, you no longer have any control over your own information, and it falls on those companies to protect your information.
Well, there's really actually two aspects to education. One of the reasons why we wanted to talk today was really give the public a little bit of an overview of what's happening in the world of the cyber attacks, which is an education process, because people have to understand, they could potentially be compromised on Facebook or with these phishing attacks, as Shane talked about. But the other aspect of our cyber education program is really providing the students 3 certifications. They're CompTIA, they're DoD and industry recognized. There's A+, Net+, and Security+. And once they take this course, which is a 15-week long, 60-hour course, they actually can test out with these 3 different certifications, and once they achieve those, they can qualify. Those will qualify for 9 to 12 credits at St. Pete College. So that these will be actually certifications that allow them work. They're beginning to work as a help desk technician or beyond, and understand the fundamentals of security, computer software, networks, etc. But beyond that, the threat is really something more that the experts, can really talk about.
Now, so educating them on all of this and then getting their certification, is the overall hope that you'll create what you said earlier, is that you'll have good cyber citizens?
Cyber citizens, not everyone will go on to careers in cybersecurity, unfortunately. But some of them will graduate into higher levels of education. We hope that some of them will go directly into the industry, and from high school, from junior college, and begin protecting those corporations that are in dire need of assistance.
Now, what can the families do of these students? I mean, what can, and perhaps even some of our viewers that may be watching today, what can they do to protect themselves? And you did say earlier that you are now offering courses to adults. I mean, is that something that's viable?
We actually have, I'm sorry, we actually have course, our next 15-week course will actually start July 11th. That'll be the full certification course, and adults do participate in that as well. They do receive the industry certifications, and we also have an introductory summer camp. It's a 15-hour, which actually starts August 8th, and that actually gives an overview, and actually the deliverable is that the student will be able to go home and protect their family's network, either wireless or
now you can
landline.
Get that information on your website.
That is correct.
As well?
Right.
Okay, and for those of you at home, if you've got a pen and piece of paper around, we always keep the website available for you, and that website is on your screen, and it's ScienceCenterofPinellas.org. You're looking at that website right now. All the information you need to know about what programs they offer, information that Joe and Shane are talking about now. It's a very informative website, so you can always log on there, and we'll keep that on the screen as usual for the remainder of the show if you'd like more information. So Shane, what is it about this program that you're most proud of?
Well, the 15-hour course that Joe just mentioned is really exciting for middle school and high school students. It's their first real introduction into the fundamentals of information technology, and more specifically, we challenge them with gaming's